The superpower to inspire success. William Campbell Jr., also known as Bill Campbell, was a coach who quietly steered the course of Silicon Valley's most successful companies. His name may seem unfamiliar because he stayed in the shadows while others took center stage. But while Campbell may not stand out in a crowd, his heart stands head and shoulders above his contemporaries. While coaching football at Columbia University, he lost 6 straight seasons because he cared more about the well-being of his players than winning trophies. He refused to let them place sports above school or bench walk-ons who gave it their all. When Campbell left sports for business, his old teammates trusted him to excel despite his failures in athletics. From high school through college, he showed he had the heart to help everyone around him succeed. And indeed, he was successful. He held executive positions at Apple Inc. and served as a CEO of software company Intuit. Almost everyone in Silicon Valley who is unusually generous attributes their worldview to Bill Campbell. Be a coach for your loved ones by supporting and motivating them. Campbell was ahead of his time. In the 1980s, he lived by theories that experts in teamwork and leadership would only validate decades later. In today's collaborative world, where the quality of our relationships drives career and company success, Campbell's approach is invaluable. As such, coaching isn't limited to athletes and entertainers. Leaders have executive coaches, and employees benefit from speaking coaches. In addition, Google conducted a study in 2012 called Project Aristotle to identify the key traits of its most successful teams. Earlier, they had learned from an organizational psychologist, Adam Grant, that successful organizations are built on teams, not individuals. In the study, 5 conditions stood out as crucial to a successful group: psychological safety, goal clarity, meaningful roles, dependable members, and impact of the team's mission. As you explore further, you'll see how Campbell's coaching playbook encompasses these conditions. Loyalty doesn't make you weak. At 75, Campbell succumbed to cancer, drawing a diverse crowd of over 1,000 Silicon Valley figures to his memorial, each considering him their best friend. Who was this man who had come to be adored among the elite in Silicon Valley? This unassuming man from Homestead, Pennsylvania, and the son of a PE teacher, first distinguished himself in football at Homestead High. After joining Columbia University in 1958, he led them to a historic Ivy League title as their captain. He graduated in 1962 with an economics degree and later earned a master's in education. Campbell began his career as an assistant football coach at Boston College before returning to Columbia in 1974 as head coach. Despite a more lucrative offer from top coach Joe Paterno at Penn State, Campbell followed his heart and chose Columbia. Had he gone to Penn State, he would have become a college football legend rather than the Silicon Valley icon we know today. With only 12 wins against 41 losses, his tenure was challenging. His compassionate approach, prioritizing players' feelings over dispassionate toughness, hindered recruitment. Unable to place wins above his players' well-being, he resigned after 5 years, paving the way for his Silicon Valley success rather than becoming a college football legend. Being true to your values will bring you rewards. In 1979, during his job hunt, a Columbia football acquaintance introduced him to PepsiCo executive John Scully. Campbell turned down a job at PepsiCo and joined Kodak, eventually heading its European consumer products division by 1983. His journey continued as he joined Apple under John Scully's leadership, and he swiftly became Apple's VP of Sales and Marketing within 9 months. Campbell left Apple in 1990 due to leadership conflicts and became CEO of Go Corporation, a pioneer in pen-based handheld computers, which shut down in 1994. As Intuit's CEO, Campbell's unique approach to leadership and growth impressed Scott Cook, who admired the nuanced approach that differed from his own. Campbell successfully led Intuit for years until his resignation in 2000, marking the beginning of his third career phase as a coach in a new field. Back in 1985, when Steve Jobs faced expulsion from Apple, Campbell was among the few executives who opposed this decision. When Jobs returned as CEO of Apple in 1997, Campbell appointed him as one of the new directors shortly after. Campbell remained on the Apple board until 2014, and Campbell and Jobs became close friends. He was a sounding board for Jobs on a variety of subjects. As a coach, mentor, and friend, Campbell's impact extended beyond Silicon Valley, touching countless people from diverse backgrounds. Once a coach, always a coach. Campbell interacted with people from different walks of life, leaving an indelible mark on each of them with his trademark hug. He was a trillion-dollar coach, but he treated everyone the same way. For businesses to succeed today, teams need to function as communities. Rather than just having intelligent creatives on staff, success relies on integrating interests and putting differences aside. Research affirms that fostering a sense of belonging enhances engagement and teamwork. Campbell excelled at identifying and diffusing tension among teammates, a skill crucial not only in sports but also in thriving business ventures. At this point, it is essential to identify, what did Campbell coach? What approach distinguished his coaching style? How did he infuse a sense of love into the workplace? And additionally, trip reports are a good place to start meetings. Start on an informal note by asking what each person did for the weekend. Thus, team members get to know each other personally, not just officially. Work environments that are fun have a strong correlation with improved performance. Achieving this is done through socio-emotional communication, such as discussing family and fun activities, which leads to better decision-making. Establish a structure for one-on-one meetings. The recommended order of the framework is substantive conversations, not mere chatter, job performance, peer relations, management and leadership, innovation, including best practices, recognize and celebrate personal events like birthdays and anniversaries of team members. Aligning compensation with company goals demonstrates love and respect for employees and fosters commitment. A company's primary purpose is product creation. Every action should contribute to this objective. So, when parting ways with an employee, do so graciously and generously. Did you know Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer boosted communication and performance by starting staff meetings with gratitude? A 2002 study by Southern Methodist University called this knowledge commonality. Trust is the safest currency. Trust is a multifaceted concept, born of vulnerability and the belief in the goodwill of others. It involves keeping promises, displaying loyalty, maintaining integrity, and practicing discretion. Trust also facilitates smoother resolution of disagreements within dependable teams, leading to less emotional strife. Numerous studies emphasize the paramount importance of trust. It forms the foundation of successful relationships, enabling individuals to address task conflicts without jeopardizing their relationship. A Cornell University study conducted in 2000 concluded that building trust would reduce emotional friction and enhance good decision-making. Listening to someone without judgment and with care is the best gift you can give them. Refrain from thinking of what you'll say next while giving your undivided attention to others. Instead, ask questions to clarify what the real issue is. Be honest and provide feedback immediately. If the comments are negative, they should be expressed with care and in private. Furthermore, listening helps employees feel competent, connected, and in control. Successful leaders pose open questions and pay attention to each response. According to the self-determination theory of human motivation, competence, relatedness, and autonomy are crucial to employee satisfaction. Demonstrate relational transparency, listening, providing honest feedback, and insisting on honesty. Also, show faith in people and encourage them to be courageous at work. Find a solution, not guilt. Put square pegs in square holes. In 2010, Apple accused Google's Android OS of infringing on patents developed for the iPhone, leading them to initiate lawsuits against Google's business allies, the makers of Android phones. For Bill Campbell, this situation presented a unique challenge. He was deeply connected to both companies. On one hand, he was a close friend of Jobs and served on the Apple board. On the other, he was a mentor and coach to the leadership team at Google. This dual allegiance put him in a difficult position during the Apple-Google dispute. Renowned for his wisdom in handling interpersonal and corporate dynamics, Campbell chose a path that reflected his strengths. Rather than choosing sides or trying to solve the patent dispute between Apple and Google directly, he focused on advising the leadership on effectively managing the situation. Campbell's role as a mediator in this situation was crucial because of his unique standing in the tech community. As someone who had the trust and respect of leaders in both companies, he was able to offer unbiased advice that could lead to a more amicable resolution. His handling of the situation illustrates a broader lesson in corporate leadership: the importance of focusing on human relationships and effective communication in resolving conflicts. Knowing and caring about the people you lead improves effectiveness. When forming a team, prioritize intelligence and passion, the capability to learn quickly, a willingness to put in the effort, Honesty, determination, compassion, and a team-oriented mentality are all crucial. Peer connections are frequently ignored yet critical, so try to match individuals to tasks or decisions whenever possible. Tackle the most challenging problems first and work your way down. Have difficult conversations, but avoid lingering on negative issues. Whenever you win, treat others with integrity, commitment, and teamwork. Communicate with your employees more often when things are not going well with the company. Teams want to see that their leaders are loyal, committed, and decisive. The team's needs should outweigh personal needs, no matter who you are. When a problem arises, getting the right people on board is more important than the problem itself. Not what happened and who's to blame, but what are we going to do about it? Be a professional work buddy. Cultivating care and compassion can wield substantial influence within an organization. During his tenure as CEO of Intuit, Campbell exhibited such empathy through his interaction with Mari Baker, a key team member who faced a health crisis necessitating hospitalization during a business trip. Upon learning of her predicament, Campbell arranged the private jet, ensuring Baker's husband could swiftly join her and ease her journey home. It may seem like a simple act of generosity, but such stories underscore a leader's unwavering commitment to the entire company, fostering profound loyalty in return. Investing in employee well-being contributes to business reputation and prosperity. Here are two mandatory rules that you should introduce into your coaching practice. Wholeheartedly applaud individuals and their achievements. Campbell had a unique clapping style known as the BCC, or Bill Campbell clap, where he would deliver 5 enthusiastic claps to genuinely celebrate those who had accomplished something commendable or succeeded in a project. Recognize and cherish those with extraordinary vision and enthusiasm for the organization. Typically, there are people within a company, aside from the founder, who epitomize the company's core values. These employees uphold the company's essence, persisting long after the founder has departed. While they may not appear on financial statements or organizational charts, their worth is immeasurable. Fostering collaborative excellence. For successful companies to thrive, their teams need to collaborate effectively. It involves people coming together, aligning their interests, and setting aside personal differences to collectively prioritize the company's well-being and ethical values. However, achieving this level of teamwork doesn't come naturally, especially among high-achieving individuals. Therefore, the presence of a team coach becomes crucial for facilitating and fostering this team spirit. Campbell was a staunch advocate for managerial excellence, emphasizing the significance of implementing straightforward practices that jointly contribute to a robust operation. He firmly believed managers should earn their status by focusing on their team's needs and fostering a smoothly running workplace, rather than simply inheriting it. Provide timely, honest, and detailed feedback to facilitate employee growth. Campbell adopted a deliberate and consistent approach to communication. He valued making decisive decisions, recognizing when to conclude a debate and reach a verdict. He also acknowledged the value of aberrant geniuses, exceptional performers whose behavior may occasionally deviate from the norm, but he also advocated swiftly addressing any behavior that threatened the team's well-being. He believed that exceptional products and the teams behind them form the heart of a remarkable company, and all other aspects exist to support it. When managers are inevitably faced with letting employees go, he advocated for a compassionate approach, allowing individuals to retain their dignity throughout the process. When addressing challenges, his initial step was to assemble the right team. He bridged communication gaps through behind-the-scenes efforts, hallway discussions, phone calls, and individual meetings. As an advocate for workplace diversity and authenticity, Campbell extended his affection for individuals in the communities he shaped or joined, normalizing the presence of love in the work environment. He knew that universally shared human concerns such as love, family, finances, attention, power, significance, and purpose play a crucial role in any business, so effective team building requires acknowledging these human aspects regardless of age, position, or rank. Campbell's personal insight into individuals allowed him to inspire their business performance, highlighting the connection between positive human values and successful business outcomes. Despite seeming paradoxical in business, these concepts are indispensable for success. A company's effectiveness hinges on the quality of its teams, and the success of these teams relies on strong relationships between their members. Thus, trust is the cornerstone of every successful relationship. Try this. Think of ways to build loyalty and trust among your team members. You can start by clarifying goals, actively listening to your team members, emphasizing the value of their opinions, properly compensating your team for their hard work, creating communities within and outside of work, and utilizing your time, connections, and resources for the team.